gospel is me. I never sung anything but gospel, and my philosophy has been, if God has given me the gift, why don't I give it back to him? And the best way to do that is with gospel music because of the lyric, and it touches the soul. If I had to make a choice between another music, that's why I said jazz. I like jazz because I think it's a relative of gospel, but you can't pay me to do nothing but gospel. It's part of me. Anyway, a lot of people has said when I sing gospel, I sound like a jazz singer. I don't be trying to sound jazzy at all. I just do gospel the way I feel it. And it comes straight from the heart. When my children was young, we were doing quite a few concerts all over the state, out of state, and everywhere. We did a lot of concerts. And then when they got grown and on their own, it's hard to pull them together. Fortunately, we're coming back together for the 19th at the Capri, and that was a struggle to get them together. And all 8 of them might not be there, but it'll be enough of us to do the program because all of them can sing a little bit. Some of them think they can sing better than the others, but the public will find out on the 19th. I know we'll do an old favorite like Oh Happy Day. That's one of our standards. And Art does a great rendition of How Great Thou Art. I don't think anybody can sing it any better than him. We got a lot of other numbers, and we're not quite sure which songs we're going to do, but Oh Happy Day and How Great Thou Art and Glory, Glory, Hallelujah, and Holy. Elliot, give me a list of this. And they're working on some new stuff. I told them I'm going to stick with the old stuff. One song I like a lot, that's okay. One song I like that we put on the Prairie Home Companion anniversary album, All of God's Children. And when I sing that, I think about all of my children. And we'll have to do a little bit of that one. My kids don't like it because it's so old-fashioned. But what can they do? I'm in charge. I'm old-fashioned. I guarantee the audience will be well pleased with what they hear. And now that they're all grown up, they haven't seen the family together too much since they've been grown and gone, they will see what they develop into. I hope some of the older Plymouth Christian Youth Center members are still around, because they can take part ownership of those children growing up to be what they are today, even if they're not so good. You know, with all of our faults, we still see all of the great blessings that God has provided us with. And I tell people quite often, if a single mother raised 8 children, and all at one time none of them is in jail, that's a pretty good record. Because I was working with a lady once, and she said to me, how can you handle all these kids? I said, well, you just have to have a schedule and know what you're doing, and when you say no, it's got to mean no, and yes is yes. And she said, I have 3 boys, and all of them is in Stillwater right now. And that made me be grateful to God for, even when I see faults other people might not see in my children, they all are free right now. They walk in the streets. They're not in jail. And that's a blessing by itself to have raised 8 kids in North Minneapolis. Of course, church helped a lot. Gospel singing helped them a lot. You know, when they could have been out in the streets like other children, I had them around the piano, trying to make them get their key for a different song. And sometimes they drug their feet like crazy. They didn't want to sing. They complained the whole time. But again, I was in charge. So they end up singing pretty good. One went on to be a professional singer. When my children was quite young, Plymouth Christian Youth Center became an important part of my life because they had the kinship program. And at that time, one of my daughters was a teenager and had some problems like a lot of teenagers have. They connected me with a lady who had volunteered on the kinship program, whose name was Goody Hamilton. She became the grandmother for my children. And everything just fell together. And I will never, ever forget Plymouth Christian Youth Center because it meant so much to me. They gave the kids camping scholarships for wilderness canoe base. And during Christmas time, she took all 8 of those kids up there, and each one of them bought a gift for every sibling and their mom. Our Christmas tree looked like we were wealthy because there were so many nice gifts because of Christmas that it made us feel like we weren't suffering. We didn't have to do without because she made it possible. She gave them the money to buy all the items with, and they brought them home. They wrapped them there and put the kids' names on them because we got some real unique, hilarious stories about Christmas time before Goody Hampton was a part of it. One of my sons was trying to buy everybody a gift, and his money ran out, so he bought a pair of socks and gave one sock to one sister and the other sock to the other. But when Goody Hamilton became a part of our lives, everybody was able to give gifts to each member of the family because of Plymouth Christian Youth Center, and I understand that's still going on. Great.